I watched my best friend die over something we laughed about. It started as a joke, and I hate myself for that part most. We were helping my uncle clean out an old shed behind his house. Dust everywhere, rusted tools. A raccoon came stumbling out, acting wrong, circling, drooling, not scared of us at all. My friend Mark grabbed a broom and swung at it, yelling like it was a movie scene. The raccoon bit him on the wrist. It didn't look serious, just a few small punctures. Mark rinsed it with a hose and shrugged, said he didn't want hospitals or shots. I backed him up. I told him, "You're fine. If it was serious, you'd know." That lie still wakes me up at night. About a week later, Mark said he felt off. Headaches, fever. He was snappy, irritated over nothing. We joked that he was just sick. I remembered the bite and asked if he'd seen a doctor. He said it was probably nothing and not worth stressing over. Then he started changing. He couldn't sleep. Bright lights bothered him. Every little sound made him flinch. A few days after that, he stopped eating much, said chewing felt exhausting. Food made him nauseous. Then it got worse. One night he called me, panicking because he couldn't drink water. He held the glass in his hand, shaking, but every time he tried to swallow, his throat locked up. He gagged and pushed the glass away like it was dangerous. He told me even thinking about water made his chest tighten. Eating became impossible, too. His body just wouldn't let him. He sent me a video. His hands were trembling. His eyes were wide. He looked trapped inside himself. I Googled it. That's when everything collapsed. By the time Mark went to the ER, he was terrified. Not dramatic fear, but raw animal panic. He said something was wrong in his head. He kept begging the nurses not to let him die. I stood there, silent, knowing exactly what it was and knowing we were already too late. Rabies doesn't forgive hesitation. He became confused, then aggressive, then detached. He hallucinated. He barely recognized people. He kept asking for water and then screaming when they tried to give it to him. He cried because he was starving but couldn't swallow food without choking or panicking. At one point, he grabbed my arm and asked why we hadn't taken the bite seriously. I had no answer. They sedated him, put him in isolation. A few days later, the doctor told us there was nothing they could do. Once the symptoms start, survival is almost unheard of. Mark died quietly, weeks after a bite we thought was nothing. I replay that day constantly. The broom, the laugh, the moment I told him he'd be fine. Sometimes I think his blood is on my hands.